All right, I'll get started here. Obviously, an interesting preparation week here for you guys, but how's the team handling getting ready for this bowl game?
There is an incredible spirit within the team. The guys, whatever team meeting it is or wherever it is in the building, there's music playing. The guys are enjoying it. They're rallying behind a message of we're doing this to finish the season with this group, and mostly, for the team themselves and the players, and being able to spend another week together and go get a win.
Some process questions just in terms of the players allowed to play. Are the players in the portal? Are you giving them an opportunity to play in this bowl game?
There was a decision that if that happened, they would have the opportunity to play, yes. Now, obviously, the biggest thing about that is the portal is not open. So as much as guys are announcing that they're in the portal, whatever it is, it's not open. But we did leave that as if you'll be able to play in the bowl game.
Do you have a message for the team just about the staff? Everybody reads news clippings, and I'm sure your players aren't immune to any of that. What's your message to this team as there's certain to be some turnover here?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, a consistent message is that it's about the guys in the locker room. In this profession, not only can players come and go, coaches can come and go, and there is loyalty, there is, there's a commitment that takes to do this profession. So as much as things change from coaches to players, there is a commitment, there is a buy-in, there is a trust, there is a love for both the players to coaches and coaches to players. And so the message is we're doing this together to finish this off the right way. And most importantly, you guys are doing this for each other. I just got done talking about use this time. There's no school. Spend the time together. It's not just about practice and the games. You got all this time and you never know what's going to happen in terms of people moving forward and what it will look like here. So take advantage of the time that you have with one another and enjoy it and have some fun finishing this thing out the right way.
There's a familiarity to this, I'm sure, for your senior class who a year ago at this time, in fact, a familiarity for some of the people standing here as well. What have you seen from your senior leadership when it comes to messaging on this team?
I think one of the cool things was that when we had our first team meeting, when this went down about a week ago, and I went up to speak, I didn't have a ton to say. Biggest thing I had to say was that I look forward to finishing this thing out on the right note and being here for you guys and giving you my best. And then the seniors took over from there, right? And they stood up, Coach, I want to talk, Coach, I want to talk. And the room erupted. There was a spirit and a fight that started from literally the instance that this came together. And it just shows the testament of the leadership on this team and a bunch of guys that have been through a lot. I talked about it this morning, make adversity your partner in growth. And so through all of these things, you can still find joy, right? As non-joyful as maybe it can seem and the things that can happen and the change, you can still find joy in all of this. And so the joy really comes from the people and living out the time that you have with one another. And that's coaches included, and every coach is going to have their different journey moving forward. But at the end of the day, all of us need to enjoy being around each other. There's strong relationships and friendships that hopefully last forever.
Kind of along those lines, obviously I think Jimmy Rogers leaving kind of came as a shock to a lot of people in this program, especially a lot of fans outside the program. Mm-hmm. What was the process like of you stepping up to become interim head coach, and what's that going to look like moving forward to this bowl game?
Yeah, I think Jimmy, it was unexpected, right? We all planned on being here. When we came here a year ago, man, it was we were fired up, we were excited. There was nothing more we wanted, and that's just living in the moment, right? And things happened really fast, and when he found out, John Harlow came to me very shortly after and asked me to be the interim, and I said, without a doubt, I want to be here for these guys, not for me, not to have an interim tag, not to be able to try and go 1-0 as a head coach. It has nothing to do with that. It's to finish it off for these guys. And, a lot of these guys have been coaching for a long time. There was guys that are seniors now that were freshmen at South Dakota State when I was coaching them. And the right thing to do, the thing that I wanted to do was be here to finish this out the right way for these guys and go get a win.
You've been to the blue turf at Boise before?
I have not. I've always seen it from a distance. But it'll be a cool thing. I don't know if we're talking about it too much, but I know it'll be a cool deal.
You've been kind of linked to the co-DC job at Iowa State with Coach Rogers. What's kind of your plan for your future?
Yeah, I'll be honest, and I'll only really speak to my future is, I'm going to be going with as the DC. There's a lot of news out there. It is what it is. It has nothing to do with it. It'll just be a DC. It won't be co-DC. But at the end of the day, excited for that opportunity. It's what's best for myself, my wife, our family, and just the career moving forward. I had a lot of great conversations with people here, but I'm excited for that journey. But this ain't done yet, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to finish it off for these seniors and this team that I care about. This isn't easy. I think the biggest thing, people talk about is they say, this is outside of football world. They look at you and go, man, that's a crazy life. And you're just like, yeah, it is what it is. But when you really sit down or you're in a moment like this, it's not easy either, no matter what your situation is. Whether I'm fortunate enough to go and have an opportunity to coach at that school in the position I am, I'm blessed, but it ain't easy. It's not easy, right? And there's been a lot of nights these last week and a half where I'm laying up at night and pretty emotional just about everything and the change. And as much as I am excited, I'm sad as well, just because there's a lot of relationships and this is a special place.
Did Jimmy call you at some point after taking that job to kind of offer you that position, or how did that all kind of go down?
Yeah, once everything happened really fast, I think it was on that Friday, and it really did just happen on that Friday when, things, obviously, and even us, right, you hear rumblings of what could happen maybe, and on social media, that's what we all look at, right? And I got the main source right next to me. Well, once things became official, he asked me what I wanted to do and what would I be open to. I shared with him my thoughts. I had a couple conversations with John Harlow and the staff here, It made sense for me after some thought and a lot of conversations to take that next step and go with Coach Rogers.
You said that the players that are planning to enter the portal will be at least allowed to play in the bowl game. Do you know if those guys are planning to actually play, or what's that going to look like?
Yeah, if there's guys that aren't here at practice right now, they're obviously not playing. Everyone that's here at practice right now is planning on playing. And so there's a couple guys out here maybe that have said they've intended to enter the portal or something. That's their choice, right? I told everyone on the team in one of my first meetings was, hold off. The portal don't open up till January 2nd or whatever it is. There's no reason to try to draw attention to yourself or whatever that may be. So the message has been stick with your team. I did say if that's what you believe is best for you to put out your intent to enter the portal, then you can do that and you're allowed to play. But don't make this a selfish thing. Make this about this group finishing in the right direction.
Last one for me. How do you kind of find the balance between you're going to Iowa State in probably a couple weeks, I would imagine, trying to get ready for that, but also doing what you feel is best, for the team you have here at WSU?
Yeah, there's responsibilities in both roles. Obviously, there's a lot of phone calls back and forth between myself and Coach Rogers, and trying to build relationships there. But the most important relationships until I do officially get there in a couple weeks is this team here, and continuing to build on those relationships and letting these guys know that I'm here for them, that we are here for them as a staff, and that we're going to get this win together, and I'll always be there for them. And hopefully lifelong friendships is what we've talked about all the time. So it's been fun. It's exciting.
Is Anthony planning to play in the bowl game?
Yes, he is.